just love this gallery. I mean, what an amazing space to exhibit in as you ascend the stairs going past the neoclassical sculptures and then listening to the haunting sounds drawing you into the room with the electric fence. And it's just this sombre, dark, brutal space, and it's just something so profoundly kind of sinister, yet hopefully very moving. And the idea, this linear formation, was very, very deliberate, and this is the first time electric fence has been seen in this form. And I really wanted to interrupt the flow in the gallery, this idea of borders and boundaries. I just physically wanted to interrupt the journey that people normally take around this gallery, get them to stop, get them to think, get them to be irritated by it, inconvenienced by it, just change that pattern of movement. You know, the electric fence is an LGBT plus work, but it is for everybody. And I always see my work as a catalyst for conversation. It's not this idea of kind of forcing an agenda onto somebody, but it's to get them to stop and to think. And of course, in these pandemic times, we think about borders, boundaries, prevention of movement in a very different way. And everybody was completely trapped, stuck, prevented from their usual movement. I like to think of the work as current, not only in terms of an electrical current, but, you know, of our times, and hopefully the work will just keep evolving. This idea as well that, of course, the work was very much built on touch capacitance. The electric fence needed you. You needed to touch the fence to make that connection, to bring it to life. And of course, the world is such a different place now. And just hoping that we will be able to kind of reconnect. This series of flags was specially designed for the Usher Gallery and forms an integral part of the exhibition. The series combines seemingly naive or very powerful white on black designs, and the idea is that they echo the use of body inking and gang symbols, often used by dangerous supremacist groups. These were then to be contrasted with the bright flags with colours taken from a deconstructed rainbow flag. I think also importantly, the work references the many contemporary conversations I had with members of the public during a series of workshops in 2019. The colourful flags are representing those personalities and the hopeful stories of the participants. The work acts as a playful celebration of LGBT+ histories and conversations, but also a kind of powerful reminder of the ongoing journey towards equality. The series begins with a downward pointing triangle, and this was a badge of shame originating in Nazi concentration camps, a badge of shame pinned to the chest with numerous codes and variations to further segregate the captive populace. The mentally ill, alcoholics, drug addicts, vagrants, beggars, prostitutes and lesbians. 2012 Lesbians and Queers represents the original inspiration behind the electric fence, and it's based on a piece of hate speech from the Reverend Charles L. Worley of Providence Road Baptist Church.
I figured a way to get rid of all the lesbians and queers, but I couldn't get it passed through Congress. Built a great big large fence, 150 or 100 mile long, put all the lesbians in there, fly over and drop some food. Do the same thing with the queers and the homosexuals, and have that fence electrified till they can't get out. Feed them, and you know what? In a few years they'll die out.
Happy Hour in the Harmful Factory is a bright white neon sign with the work's title that began life as a simple phrase communicated to my partner by a colleague, and they're based remotely in Eastern Europe, and they were demonstrating concern for her cold, and they said, "Have a glass of milk," as in the harmful factory, which led to the obvious question, what is the harmful factory? The brightness and clarity of the resulting work is created in my own handwriting and contrasts with the casual tone of what was a playful pun said in passing. But the work in writing becomes something very different, something transient, fragile, but also something ultimately actually quite sinister. This exhibition has actually been years in the making, and at the beginning of this process, never in my wildest kind of dystopian nightmares could I have imagined the situation we're now in.
The electricity is there to protect civilization and rightness from me. I am the nightmare, and I want to wake up.